Hello everyone and welcome back to another amazing chess game from the history of chess from 1862. And in this chess game we have Paulsen with the white pieces and his opponent is John Owen. Well, let me introduce these chess players. Paulsen was one of the leading chess players, one of the top 10 chess players from 1860s and 1870s, and his opponent John Owen was a strong English chess amateur. And Paulsen was actually the inventor of the Sicilian defense dragon variation, but it is known as the dragon variation, not the Paulsen variation, interestingly. And in this little picture, we see Paulsen on the left playing a chess game against Max Lange. And this chess game that I'm about to show you happened in 1862, a very interactive chess game. Also, did you know that Paulsen was actually one of the first chess players who was capable of playing blindfolded chess against at least 10 people simultaneously, which is an important talent, of course. So also maybe you heard Paulsen's name with his chess games against Paul Morphy, so he was also one of the rivals of Paul Morphy. Okay, so Paulsen, who has the white pieces, starts the game with pushing the e-pawn b6, and this is the Owen defense. g3, e6, bishop to g2, bishop to b7, knight out, f5. So if capturing the pawn, bishop takes bishop, knight out, pushing the pawn, bishop to b4, pinning the knight, and Paulsen castled. Bishop takes on c3. But with capturing on c3, John Owen is giving up his dark square bishop, not even damaging the pawn structure for Paulsen. He is not getting something in return with capturing on c3. So it looks like, in my opinion, that was a move which has no purpose. Capturing the pawn, so it was only simplifying the game. Knight takes on e4, but now Paulsen checks the king, and John Owen didn't want to lose the castling rights, so he is pushing the pawn, but weakening the dark squares. So queen to e5, attacking the rook, castling, and then Paulsen captured on e4, knight out, defending the queen, e5, closing the diagonal, but now bishop has access on h6 and targeting the rook, defending the rook, and Paulsen pushed the pawn. He wants to open the file. Well, I would prefer white in this position. Bishop to a6, and now in this position Paulsen made a big decision. Well, he understood that two pair of bishops was actually pretty strong. Even in 1860s he understood that, so we can say that Paulsen was ahead of his time. So he decided to give up the exchange for the bishop pair, for the power of the bishop pair. He evaluated this position and he thought that his two pair of bishops is going to dominate this position. So bishop takes on f1, rook takes on f1, developing the queen, exchanging the rooks. And what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Well, actually this e-pawn is a pain in the neck for John Owen. Paulsen pushed the pawn and he is also liberating the queen. You can see that there is big problems in the dark squares for John Owen, pushing the pawn, and decisions. We have queen to e7. But if capturing the pawn with the queen, then this is a fatal mistake because black is getting checkmated. And if capturing the pawn with the pawn, then queen takes knight, and this is also losing on the spot. Okay, so white is better in this position. We have this e6 move, defending the queen and also defending the checkmate threat. And Paulsen simply captured the pawn, e takes on d7, knight to e5. And what happens in this position if capturing the pawn with the queen? Can you see what happens? Then e5. Okay, so liberating the bishop this time. And where is the knight going? If moving the knight, then capturing the rook with the bishop, and this is all over. Actually, this is losing. So if checking the king, king up, and there is no more checks. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we have knight to e5 targeting the pawn 2 times, and it looks like Paulsen is going to lose his pawn. He is going to lose his pawn. There is no defense. It looks like Paulsen is going to say goodbye to his pawn. But he played bishop to h3, a sneaky move by Paulsen. He says, "You please take my pawn." But we have g5. What happens if knight takes on d7, simply capturing the pawn? Can you see the purpose of Louis Paulsen's move? Why did he play bishop to h3, and what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? So if I give you 3 seconds, can you guess the next move of white? White plays a move, and actually black is losing on the spot. Black has no defense. So you can also pause the video if you need. Okay, so this is the move. Bishop to e6. And you can see the power of the bishops. They are working perfectly, hand in hand. Like a great teammate, like Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Look at them. They are beautiful. If capturing the bishop, then queen to g7. Checkmate. There is no defense. So this was the purpose. That's why Louis Paulsen played bishop to h3 for checking the king and checkmating the king. Actually, there is no defense. Also, you can also block with the queen, but then still queen to g7 is checkmate because the queen is going to be pinned. Basically, there is forced checkmate. So this is why Paulsen played bishop to h3, g5, hoping to lock down the bishop and then capturing the pawn. And in this position, we have queen takes on c7. Simply capturing the pawn, but now pushing the pawn by John Owen. What now? It looks like Paulsen is going to lose the bishop. Well, he is not going to be able to activate his bishop. He has to defend his bishop. I meant he is going to lose his bishop in this attack. But in this position, if rook to d8, what happens then? Then bishop to e6, check. The only move for the king is king to h8, but then capturing the knight. If capturing the bishop, then capturing the rook, and that is over. That is losing for black. Once again, these two bishops are simply dominating the game, and you can see the importance of the bishop pair at chess. So if blocking with the knight, what happens then? Well, this chess game is so interactive, isn't it? There are so many puzzles, so many interactive moments. Then simply queen to c3 and threatening checkmate, and the only defense is with the queen, checking the king and capturing the queen, but this time, bang. Bishop takes on g5, because the knight is pinned and attacking the defender on d8. And black is going to lose the rook, otherwise white is promoting the queen. The knight is pinned, so you can see the power of the two bishops once again. Okay, so in this position, after queen takes on c7, we have g4. But g4 is not working, as you probably know. Louis Paulsen simply pushed the pawn and he promoted the queen. If capturing the queen with the rook, then queen takes queen. So capturing the queen with the queen, but this time queen to g7, checkmate. What a fantastic final move. What a fantastic finish in this chess game. A very interactive chess game, and I'm hoping that you have found the key moves in this incredibly beautiful chess game between John Owen and Louis Paulsen. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time with more beautiful chess games from the chess history. So take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.